Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. It's a pleasure to have you join us as we uncover the secrets of Big Brother Africa Season 5. Big Brother Africa 5, also known as Big Brother Africa All Stars, was the fifth season of the Big Brother Africa reality television series produced by Endemol. The season premiered on Sunday, July 18, 2010 and was broadcast by M-Net and M-NetAfrica for 91 days, concluding on October 17, 2010 when Nigeria's UT was crowned the ultimate winner. Each week the housemates is nominated two of their own and the public voted to either save or evict them until only 5 housemates remained on finale night. The grand prize for this season was initially $200,000, however, due to the strike that took place on day 6, the grand prize was decreased by 10%, meaning that the winner will now receive $180,000. Since that incident and toward the end of the series, the grand prize has been reinstated as $200,000, although this reinstatement was never formally announced to the housemates and the public. 14 African countries took part in this year's series, namely Angola, Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia and Zimbabwe. This season also used some of the game mechanics from the Secret Story franchise. As we progress, let's zoom in on format and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. The format introduced during the 4th season returned for this edition. The public voted to save their favorite housemate from eviction from the house. This edition featured past housemates from the first 4 seasons returning to the house for another chance to win. In the next phase, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of secrets and exploring its real-world applications. Each housemate entered the house with a personal secret that they had to protect. Each housemate entered the house with their own personal vault with $1,000. Big Brother gave the housemates an optional task of discovering each other's secrets. For each time a housemate discovers another housemate's secret, they automatically gain all the cash in their personal vault. If a housemate is able to keep their secret until they are evicted, they will keep all the money in their vault. However, if a housemate reveals their secret to another housemate, they will lose the money in their vault and incur other penalties. This format is similar to that used in the French and the Portuguese versions of Secret Story. Now, let's shift our focus to the barn and embark on an intellectual exploration of its various dimensions. In a twist from previous seasons, a new area of the house was introduced called the barn. On day 14, following the eviction of Harrington and Sammy, Big Brother revealed that this year all evicted housemates will move to the barn, where they will live for an undisclosed amount of time. Eventually, some of the housemates living in the barn may return to the main house. In comparison to the main house, the barn is a more simple house. Those who lived in the barn received visits from others they know, family members, friends, and significant others, boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. The barn official closed down on day 77. On Saturday nights, dubbed All-Star Saturday nights, both housemates and barnmates had performances from various disc performers from the various African countries of the continent. Performances from musicians and entertainers also occurred during the live eviction shows, the launch show, and the final show. In the upcoming section, we'll be dissecting summary and exploring its implications in greater detail. Week 1. On day 1 during the live premiere, all 14 houselists entered the Big Brother house. Sean Paul also performed his songs Temperature, Hold My Hand, and So Fine. The houselists bet 100% of the budget on the weekly task and ultimately lost. On day 2, Loeto and Wisha were up for eviction. During a random draw of balls from a bag, Tatiana became the first head of house. On day 6, housemates staged a protest in the diary room due to the lack of food in the house. The housemates went as far as covering all the cameras and windows within the diary room with blankets and sheets. With Big Brother not giving in, the housemates decided to break down a door that would leave them outside of the house. Big Brother called in head of house Tatiana to the diary room but was followed with the rest of the housemates. Security guards were brought into the house to bring order, but order failed as the housemates then held the guards hostage. Big Brother demanded the housemates to release the guards. Big Brother told the housemates to try to maintain with the current food in the house till Monday, much to the displeasure to the rest of the house. Later, Big Brother supplied housemates with food. The housemates later apologized for their actions and thanked Big Brother. On day 7, Kane and Tatiana were fake evicted and returned to the house soon after. A new area of the house, the barn, was also revealed to the public. Week 2 on day 8, Big Brother deducted 10% of the prize money for the winner of the show. Tatiana, Sammy and Uti were nominated, with Tatiana saving herself as the head of house, therefore making Hannigan, Sammy and Uti the nominees for eviction for the week. On day 9, the housemates wagered 50% and won their task, which tested their fears, dubbed Horror Island. On day 12, Hannington won the head of house task, which involved the housemates competing to see who could scream the loudest. Ghanaian musical group Rough and Smooth performed during the eviction show. On day 14, Hannington and Sammy were evicted then placed into the barn. Tatiana remained head of house. Week 3 on day 15, Manya and Tatiana were up for eviction. Tatiana saved herself, making Manya and Loreto the final nominees for eviction. On day 20, Sheila became the head of house. The housemates had to write down as many African countries as they knew. There was a 3-way tie between Manya, Wisho and Sheila later won a quiz on naming capital cities of selected African countries. On day 21, Loreto was evicted and went to the barn. Mr. Oshibashashua music mixer spun discs for the housemates later that night. Week 4 on day 22, Manya and Tatiana were up for eviction. During the Supermodels of Mars task, the housemates wagered 100% of their weekly budget and won. On day 27, Mixmaster Joe Joseph Mwenda Adamixer performed for the housemates. On day 28, Tatiana was evicted and went to the barn. Week 5 on day 29, Kane, Manya, and Jacob were nominated for eviction, each with 6 votes. Kane, as head of house, removed himself, making Merrill, Manya, and Jacob the final nominees for the week. This week's task requires the housemates to build a model of their ideal Big Brother house. The barnmates wagered 75% while housemates wagered 100%. The barnmates were successful while the housemates lost the task this week. On day 33, Tatiana attempted to escape the confines of the barn. Also, Sammy was forced to leave the barn due to medical concerns. On day 34, music mixer DJ Bigo performed for the housemates. On day 35, Jacob was evicted and sent to the barn. Fashion model and musician Kenyan Liz Elizabeth Loyagumbo performed during the live eviction show. Week 6 on day 36, Jen became the replacement head of house due to Jacob's eviction. Code and Manya were nominated for eviction. Jen saved Code, so Manya and Sheila were nominated for eviction. Both housemates and the barnmates wagered 75% on the task Big Brother All-Stars Radio, which required the contestants to set up a radio station. The barnmates were successful in the task. For the head of house task, the housemates sat in front of a conveyor belt and identified as many food items on a conveyor as possible, while blindfolded. They then had 1 minute to write all items they remembered. Wisho won the task. On day 41, Tanzanian DJ Steve performed for the housemates. On day 42, Sheila was evicted and entered the barn. Week 7 on day 43, Big Brother announced the 3 housemates up for eviction, Uti, Wisho and Code. As head of house, Wisho chose to save himself and place Manya up for eviction for the 6th time in a row. Therefore, Uti, Manya and Code and the final nominees for the week. On day 49, Zimbabwean performer Stunner performed during the live eviction show and Code was evicted and entered the barn. Week 8 on day 50, both Meryl and Wisho were nominated. Meryl saved herself as head of house and put Paloma in her place, making Wisho and Paloma as the final nominees for the week. Jacob also walked from the barn and the game of Big Brother Africa. For the head of house task, the Housemates were required to break free from caterpillar suites and will then fly across a line to the other side of the garden. UT won and became the new head of house. While the other Housemates thought he cheated during the task, it was easier for him to break out of his suit. On day 55, Zambian DJ Geshchishilachitashia performed for the Housemates. On day 56, Paloma was evicted and entered the barn. Week 9 on day 57, Jennifer and UT were nominated for eviction. UT as head of house removed himself from nomination, making Jennifer and Munya the final nominees for the week. For this week's task, the Housemates and barnmates will participate in tasks which will raise awareness about malaria. Both the Housemates and the barnmates wagered 100% for the task. On day 58, Loreto and Hannington got into a physical fight. This led to both Loreto and Hannington seeing a psychologist and having a consultation on both days 58 and 59. Big Brother stated that the barnmates are on probation and there will be no more warning for inappropriate behavior. On day 61, Hannington was disqualified and evicted from the Big Brother house due to the fight with Loreto on day 58. Because of these events, Big Brother issued the following punishments. Loreto is unable to nominate for the remainder of the game, and they may not consume any alcohol and will be required to do dishwashing duties while remaining in the barn. In addition, alcohol will be removed from next week's shopping list. On day 62, Ghanaian DJ Killer Fingers from IF performed for the Housemates, and they also saw video messages from loved ones. On day 63, Jennifer was evicted to the barn. Week 10 on day 64, Munya, Kane, Wisho and UT were nominated for eviction. As head of house, Munya removed himself from eviction and replaced himself with Merrill, making Merrill, Kane, Wisho and UT the final nominees for the week. On day 69, DJ Pink Panther Luz Figado performed for the Housemates. On day 70, Merrill was evicted and entered the barn. Some former Housemates performed, including Kwaku Season 2, Mimi Season 3, Kevin Winner Season 4, Elizabeth Season 4 and Emma Season 4. Week 11 on day 71, it was revealed that no housemate will be evicted. From all the barnmates, 2 will be returning to the house this coming week. Tatiana won a bean eating contest to see if the contestants could live on the staples of cowboys. On day 75, Wisho earned his second straight head of house's 3rd overall. On day 76, Nigerian DJ Waxtilusi Abivan Olenju performed for the Houseguests. On day 77, Nigerian singer-songwriter and dentist Drive Sid Sydney Anorio Desiri performed prior to the housemate return. Barnmates Sheila and Tashinish had more individual votes than Paloma returned to the main house and are eligible for the grand prize, and were joined by Loreto, who returned to the house after a game of luck, while all the other barnmates were officially evicted from the Big Brother game. Opera singer Bonjo Madula performed to official close down the barn. Week 12 on day 78, Kane, Munya, Wisho and UT were all up for possible eviction. Wisho as head of house saved himself and replaced himself with Tatiana, making Tatiana, Kane, Munya, UT the final nominees for the week. On day 83, Nigerian DJ Case performed for the Housemates. On day 84, prior to the eviction, former Mozambican contestant Leonald Wizard performed with his band GPRO. Hayne and Tatiana were evicted with no save votes from the house in a double eviction. Tatiana made $3,000 after discovering 3 of her housemates' secrets and a zero holiday courtesy of the SA Tourism. Wisho became the new head of house for the 3rd consecutive week, his 4th overall and the last one of the season. Week 13, housemates Munya, Loreto, Wisho, Sheila, and UT became the finalists and became eligible for the grand prize. On day 90, Zambian DJ Gesh Chishilachitashij for the 2nd time this season and South African performer Seliv performed for the finale All-Star Saturday night of the season in a Halloween-themed show. Big Brother Africa 5 All-Stars ended after 91 days on October 17, 2010. The tour finale included performances by South African DJ Black Coffee, Nigerian hip-hop singer-songwriter Efface, East African rap and reggae artist Wire, rapper M.I, and May Hunter featuring Vector and Culture, who made waves with the African Star Big Brother theme song. When the votes were revealed, Sheila took 5th place, Wishoken in 4th, and Loito came in 3rd, each with no votes to win. Munya had 7 votes as runner-up, making Uti with 8 votes the winner. Although Munya lost, a consortium of business people from Zimbabwe gave Munya 0 as they felt he deserved to win the prize money and the voting system was flawed. Following within these events, Multichoice also arranged a consolation prize for him. Moving ahead, let's uncover the hidden gems within nominations table and discover their significance. A record of the nominations cast, stored in a nominations table, shows how each housemate nominated other housemates throughout his or her time in the house. The head of house can choose to save a nominated housemate each week and nominate another housemate to face the public vote. Twists to the normal nominations process are noted, such as immunity from nomination and eviction referred to as exempt. Housemates living in the barn. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore summary through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. Weak Munya received 12 votes to save Angola, Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Uganda, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe and the rest of Africa. Loreto received 3 votes to save Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. Weak Munya received 12 votes to save Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, Zambia, Zimbabwe and the rest of Africa. Tajina received 3 votes to save Angola, Kenya and Tanzania. Weak Munya received 12 votes to save Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Merrill received 3 votes to save Angola, Kenya and Nigeria. Jacob received no votes to save. Weak Munya had 10 votes to save Botswana, Ghana, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Sheila had 5 votes to save Angola, Ethiopia, Kenya, Mozambique and Nigeria. Weak Uti received 8 votes to save Angola, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Nigeria, Tanzania and Uganda. Munya received 6 votes to save Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe and the rest of Africa. Code received 1 vote to save his home country, Malawi. Weak Mwisha received 9 votes to save Angola, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Paloma received 6 votes to save Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Weak Munya received 14 votes to save Angola, Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Jennifer received 1 vote to save Nigeria. Weak Uti received 8 votes to save Angola, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Nigeria, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Kane received 6 votes to save Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Wisho received 1 vote to save Tanzania. Merrill received 0 votes to save. Weaker Sheila received 8 votes to return Ethiopia, Kenya, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Tatiana received 2 votes to return Botswana and Ghana. Based on more individual votes, Paloma received 2 votes to return Angola and Zambia. Code received 1 vote to return Malawi. Loito received 1 vote to return South Africa. Merrill received 1 vote to return Tanzania. Jen received 0 votes to return. Up until this week, all evicted housemates were sent to the barn. Code, Jen, Merrill, and Paloma were officially evicted from the Big Brother house. Weak Munya received 9 votes to save Botswana, Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Uti received 6 votes to save Angola, Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Kane received 0 votes to save. Tatiana received 0 votes to save. Payne and Tatiana were evicted in a double eviction. Week for the final week, viewers voted for the winner of the series. UT received 8 votes and won the show. Angola, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Nigeria, Uganda and the rest of Africa. Money received 7 votes to win and finished in second place. Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Loreto received 0 votes to win and finished in third place. Wisha received 0 votes to win and finished in fourth place. Sheila received 0 votes to win and finished in fifth place. I love interacting with my viewers, so leave me a comment and I'll do my best to respond.